G'day, Michael here. I'm up against a problem with this machine here in that it's becoming unreliable. You can see I'm in the workshop. It's basically my workshop computer. And it dawned on me that this might actually occur for other people. It might be a handy tool to find out about, being able to make your hard drive portable from computer to computer. What I aim to do with this hard drive, it's an SSD, it's set up with all my software that I need, and to reinstall, it certainly takes some time. Installing an operating system takes time, installing a specific software, making it all tweaked the way you want it, etc. It all takes time. I'm going to say, Linux is a lot quicker than, say, Windows, but the machine's tied up for the best part of a working day with all the installation and setup and whatnot. So it's a fair bit of work. Whereas making the hard drive portable is probably, I don't know, a 20-minute job. So I'm going to demonstrate how this works, and once you see how this works, it may actually enable you to do a lot of other tricks for yourself. Anyway, let's get into it. Well, I'll turn on this machine. Hopefully it'll boot okay. You can see I'm here in the workshop, bits and pieces on the workbench. That's on me, more on the machine. Any second now, so we're getting a login. Now, it had a crash earlier. There's something wrong with the hardware. Now, Ubuntu notifies you of these little system program problems detected. Now, often they're trivial things like maybe some online service didn't become available. But I suspect this one is showing a problem of the crash I had before. This machine is getting flaky. It is a hardware problem. I'm not going to go through the process of demonstrating that. But if I had VirtualBox installed on this, the VirtualBox installed with, say, a Windows installation or whatever would be portable with this drive. So you can actually have multiple operating systems portable with this technique. With a Linux system, you've got a few things to understand. They're pretty simple, really. Now this is going to be a bit frightening for those that are not initiated and do command line stuff. But it's actually... does that show well enough? Linux, for security reasons, uses a unique identifier for hard drive partitions. That's what this UUID blah 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 is. Now, that's very good and it's secure. It means you can't make it portable because it is very much linked to a very unique number for the partition. It's absolutely unique. No other device will have that same number. So what we've got to do is switch back to what was called /dev, and here you can see a hint of it there. So you can see /SDA2. Well, funny enough, that's exactly what we have to make it. If I go cat /proc partitions, it shows me all the partitions that the system recognises on the machine. Now all these are slabs of RAM, but then you've got SDA, which means the first SCSI drive. Then you've got SDB, SDC, SR0 and DM0. Now, it looks to me like I've got two 1 terabyte drives, just visually here, put together to make a 2 terabyte, RAID or BTRFS file system. So basically these two drives are united to make this larger 2 terabyte file system. So you can see this thing's got quite a specific setup in the fact that I've got two drives put together to make a very large drive, and I've got the boot drive, which is an SSD. Right, so SDA is the drive that's of interest to us directly, but those SDA and SDB yada yada, we have to translate those UUIDs that we saw a second ago. I'll just go back up one. These UUIDs to reflecting the SDA1, SDA2, yada yada. So that's what we have to do. But on booting, Linux starts with what's called an initial RAM drive. Now, What that is it's got the specifics such as these unique identifiers, etc., of where the drives are, and other core elements for the operating system as kind of a little mirror of what the real installation is. And so it boots up into RAM and then finds its way around your specific machine. So what we have to do is change this etc fs tab file, and we'll have to switch it from these unique identifiers to the /dev format. But then we have to update the initial RAM file system to reflect that, so that when we boot it into another machine, it will come up. At the moment, I'll shut this machine down with this set the way it is to show you the problems that happen if I put it into another machine. Okay, so let's do that. Here's the drive. And here are the other two, can it be visible? Yep. Here are the other two drives, the 1 terabyte drives that are combined to make 2 terabytes. They are not identical, but for the purpose of combining, it doesn't matter if they're similar or not. If you're going to do striping for redundancy, they have to be similar. Alright, so I'll pull out the system drive, which is the SSD. Come on, you. There we go. Put this over the side. Okay, so now we'll see this complaint about the fact that everything, I think the machine itself is physically set to auto-detect everything, but the operating system certainly does not know about its new machine. Now it'll be missing both that RAID array and the unique identifiers will show up as a problem. So it'll probably go to a point of booting once it gets past the RAID controller. So it's found the hard drive. Now of course there's a lot of hardware difference between these two machines. One's a Dell, another one's some sort of generic, it's a gigabyte motherboard. They both happen to have NVIDIA cards, but they're quite different cards. And this one of course has got a RAID controller, so there's a significant amount of hardware difference. And of course network adapters etc. will be different also. There's certainly no way you could do this on say Windows or Mac. This kind of massive difference in hardware. I'm expecting it to drop into a shell asking for a root password, but I'll actually go back to the original machine just for ease. Many minutes have passed, it's asking me for root password. Now here it won't even allow me to log in using the root password. I can type it in but it won't let me go past go because Ubuntu does not default to a root login, which is quite okay. We could muck around and set up that as well, but I'm not going to bother with that. What I will do is set up the hardware so it's tolerant rather than have to edit the drive. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're stuck. So I'll turn this thing off. Visible? Right. So I'm going to get on as administrator. Alright, so I can't remember which editor's on this thing. Let's go maybe, okay. It doesn't really matter what editor you use. etc fs tab is the file in question. I'm actually going to comment out the server one for the moment. Let's just do that. Okay, so I've got to find out what device that is. Okay, so mount will show us what is mounted and how. For home, SDA3. Device SDA3 is at home. The device mapper span back up. The span obviously is what I call the drive spanning. I actually simplified that a bit. With Linux, or any of the Unixes, you can stack your commands or pipe the output of one to another. Now the vertical bar, which is on the US keyboards, the key above the enter key and shift gives you that vertical bar. Can that be read by you? Just. Alright. Vertical bar. And we're going to search those results using the word, the command grep, G-R-E-P. And we're going to search for device/SD something or other, okay? So now we've just got two entries to read. I'll just clear that so I can see how much gobbledygook we're not looking at. Enter. So mount, pipe to grep, dev SD something or other. So it's going to, instead of putting that whole mountain of text in front of us, it's overwhelming to read. What it's going to do is shove it to a program called grep. And grep's going to search those results for device SD. So as soon as we do that, we can see, highlighted in red is our search term, and we can see the relevant. So we get SDA2 and SDA3 are mounted currently at home and root. So there are two files right now, the file systems that are critical for us. So we'll go to the other tab. It's gone. So SDA2 and SDA3 are what's important to us. So I'm going to actually copy this, comment it out for starters, copy it. Where are we? And I'm going to change this out. What was it now? SDA3? SDA3. So I'm going to change that to, where am I? Slash div slash SDA3. And what was the other one we had to have? Device SDA2. Again, I'm going to copy this. Comment the original out. Dev SDA2. As you can see, that line's got a lot simpler. I'll just put some space between those so they're not quite so cluttered for you to read. Okay, so that, and that. There are our three file systems mounted. Now we can actually, to make the drive itself portable without the RAID, or basically the spanned drives, we could comment that out as well. So actually I might comment that out just to make it simple. So that's now out of the picture. So we've got just the hard drive alone, the SSD that we've got, will be portable by itself. So I'll save that. Now the next command to run is update, what is it now? Init RAM FS, I think. Now if I just type that, it'll ask you what to do. Where are we? We should be able to do all. /U. There we go. So update init RAM FS /U. Oh, it's actually -U, sorry. It'll do that. Okay, now if I type mount just as a reminder, We did have this huge amount of file system here, but the ones of any importance to us were those. Now if I go and get this thing to reboot, I'll just restart. So I'll just check that it's running in this machine before we go anywhere else. And this machine is flaky, I don't know what's wrong with it. But it is an old machine, it's due for an upgrade anyway. So we've still got the same file systems mounted. Now in a perfect world, that should mean I should be able to now remove that drive and put it in any computer and boot it. Now let's give that a test. Okay, we have a login. Now I'm not sure whether I've got any specific hardware drivers. Here's an advantage to switching to open source drivers. I might just check what graphics adapter driver we're using. Now Ubuntu's got a pretty easy sort of a setup for checking that. It looks like we're using special additional drivers. I'll just wait until it refreshes. The advantage of using this tool is, I'll just zoom in so you can read what I'm reading. The advantage of using this tool is not only does it show you what it's using, so it's using an NVIDIA driver. If we switch to the XOR driver, which I'll do now, apply the changes, that means we will not be locked into the graphics hardware. So it'll just use open sourced hardware, which is much more tolerant to being moved around. The proprietary drivers are very much more specific. Having said that, even the NVIDIA drivers will drive a big range of NVIDIA cards. These machines that we've had this drive in so far have had a Quadro graphics adapter, different numbers. I think one's a Quadro 2000 and one's a Quadro, what is it? Can't see. Quadro 4000, so 2000 and 4000. Very, very different. Restart it. Okay, well that's worked fine. We are now using the open source graphics adapter driver, and everything's working sweetly enough. Alright, so now I'm going to really throw a curveball at it to show you how portable we're talking. I'm going to shut this down now. Now this is really different hardware. This is Atom based machine. The architecture is totally different. I hope this Atom is 64-bit. I'm not sure whether it is or isn't. So this will be a good test for the pair of us. Okay, it's currently got two drives in it. A little SSD and another Platinum drive. I'm not sure what the Platinum drive is. I have to change monitor cable because it's a completely different graphics adapter. It's an onboard unit. So this will be a good test. Okay, so you can see confusion away. Running very different hardware. Well, let's pray that it runs the right architecture, but here goes. Spinning up. Try to zoom. This will be a good test for it. Change sources, where are we? There, that one. Oh, it's booting. Interesting. There we go. You should see a similar desktop, because it is the same desktop. Time now. But the hardware's a lot slower. Okay, and the graphics of that is a bit different too. Alright, so you can still see that's all there. Still in focus there. There we go. Okay, so I'll just show you what I was doing a second ago. Sorry about that. Done. I've got the same, basically everything I had running before is running now. Now, with specific software such as I've got a 3D CAD program. That'll run a lot slower on this machine than it did on the other one. It's a pretty heavy package. But in any case, you can see that it's as slow as it's going. Here we are, it's running. So there you go. That's how you make a system portable using Linux. So I went from a quad-core 2 GHz machine to a hexa-core, I think it's 3.4 GHz machine, and this one's a quad-core Atom-based. I think it's running at 1.8 GHz. Let me just double check that. I'll look at this information this way. I'll just zoom in. Class. Okay. So you can see 1.66 gigahertz, I think. So it's a much slower CPU, and funny enough, it's running reasonably well considering. Yeah, I'll zoom in on that. Oh boy. Zooming in and out for you. Sorry about that. There we go. That's one way of looking at the hardware. Another way of looking at the hardware, of course, is something like the system monitor. Yep, there we go. Focus. Okay, so it still identifies itself as the same machine because the machine name is in fact a software setting. Well, there you have it. That's how you make a Linux, a modern Linux distribution file system portable between physical machines. So now I can take this SSD with me, basically plug it into any computer, and I've got exactly my software set up however I like. So if a machine dies or you simply buy a new one, you want to upgrade it, and there's a lot installed on it, a lot of specific stuff, setting up the file system so it's portable makes it quite easy. Of course, that does disable the security, so you need to reverse the process of putting the unique identifiers back in. And that's not the scope of this video. I just wanted to show this process, how easy it is. So now I've got physical security in this place. I don't need to worry about someone messing with my computer in my own property. If you're maybe in a public place or whatever, or, there might be other reasons, but I've got physical reason to protect the machine. Anyway, I hope that's of interest to you. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, ask a question, leave a comment. Bye for now.